don't know if you've been through this, but when you send your validation letter to them and they send you another letter saying, oh yeah, all this stuff was verified, it's accurate and true, so we're not removing it. What you mean you're not removing it?
Hey, you love me, you got away with words, but the lies you tell me something. No, familiar the way you run it, cause I did the same thing once and I'm seeing my reflection in your eyes. Is this karma calling?
Hey you guys, it's your girl Becca D and I'm back with another video. As you could tell by the title, we're going to be talking about living debt free. Okay, we're going to get deep into it because God does not desire for us to live in debt, enslaved to creditors and all of that. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys a little bit about my journey and what I've been going through, what I've been learning. Hopefully I can inspire you to take that next step and begin your journey of living debt free. So for those of you who don't know my journey or don't know me, first of all, welcome to my channel. Okay, I want to welcome you because this is the side of YouTube where we are talking all things God, all things abundant living, all things peace. You know, it's really God's desire for us as a people to live healthy, abundant, and peaceful lives of prosperity. And so that's what my channel is all about, with a mixture of some girly things, because I am a girly girl. I can't lie. I'm obsessed with makeup. I'm obsessed with hair, shopping, hauls, all the girly things. I'm here for it. So if those are things that you're also into, go ahead and subscribe, like this video, and comment down below. Let me know where you're from because we are going to do this together, okay? We're going to be doing this whole journey of life together. I'm 22 years old, about to be 23 in a couple of months. My main focus is living life the way God intended for me to live. And if you're around my age, or if you're younger than me, you're older than me, it doesn't matter. If you can relate to that, if you want to also tap into that and have somebody motivating you, empowering you, my prayer is that I provide a lot of value through my channel to people who are like-minded, who want to achieve great things in life, not just, you know, success, but also peace. Those things that people seem to neglect, you know, your mental health, your emotional state. I want to empower you and give you the tools and the resources that I've used and that I'm still using. If anything that I said so far resonate with you or relates to what you're going through or what you're aspiring to do, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and join our tribe, babe, because it's lit over here. We're peaceful over here. We're not rowdy like those other girls, okay? So go ahead and join the tribe. Anyway, let's get back into what this video is actually about. So my journey to living an abundant life full of prosperity, it's kind of at the starting point of repairing my old mistakes. Because what I feel like happens a lot is we know that there's options. We know that we can do better. It's just applying yourself to actually make it happen. Like, you could hear something and be like, what? You can do that? That's a thing? But then you think to yourself like, that's probably a long process though. Like, I'ma just not do it. And it's like, what? If you know that you can do something to benefit yourself, benefit your family, benefit your future family, why would you not do something about it? Just being proactive, I feel like that's another really important thing. See, I'm a go-getter. I like to hustle. I like to go ahead and just boom, 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 knock a whole bunch of stuff out. But sometimes I do find myself in that burnt out stage where I'm just kind of like, I don't know, I'm just kind of chilling, you know. I may find something out, but it's like, I ain't even got the energy right now. Like, I'm gonna take note of it so I can look into it later. And then later never comes because you know, if you don't do stuff right then and there, you just never know if you're gonna get a chance to do it. I don't know if you're anything like me and you may come across those moments yourself in your life, but I just feel like in this season of life I'm in, I owe it to myself to do better. I owe it to myself to maximize the benefits and the resources that I have. Not only using them, but you have to know something before you can apply it, right? You have to know about it. You have to educate yourself before you can just use it and apply it to your life. So looking for that knowledge, being hungry enough for it, seeking it out, and putting it into effect. That way I can benefit from it. My family members can benefit from it. My future children won't have to go through what I went through and what my family went through. We all can get a slice of that pie. We all could be debt free. You know what I mean? If you're the type of person who prefers to sit on information, then this video is not for you. I'm looking for the people who are hungry. I'm looking for the people who actually want to change their lives, change their situation for the better. And I'm not saying I'm an expert, but what I am saying is that closed mouths don't get fed. If you're not hungry, if you're not actively looking to better yourself and develop your character and grow as an individual, then this channel just simply isn't for you, because that's what I'm all about. I'm a hungry individual. If you're anything like me, you're going to find this video very useful, because I'm going to share some things that I've been learning recently, that I've been looking into, that I've been actually applying, and I'm seeing the process, how it works. And I'm going to link some videos below in the description box so you can also educate yourself, because I'm not going to gatekeep on this channel. That's the one thing about me. If I'm learning something, I'm going to pass it on to the next person so they can educate themselves and educate the people that come after them. So the first thing that I want to talk to y'all about is consumer laws, because I've come across this term recently through my own research. So if you don't know what consumer laws are, these are laws that are put in place to protect you. You are a consumer. I am a consumer. We finance cars, we finance homes, we finance credit cards. We're consumers. We consume. Consumer laws are put in place to protect us as consumers. And the two main things that I've learned so far with consumer laws is that they can cancel out any outstanding debt that you may have, especially on your credit profile. And they can also cancel out your car payments. And so you got a car note you paying every month, use that consumer law to cancel it out. I'm in the process of doing that myself, and I can definitely share some tips with you guys. I haven't completed it yet. I'm in the process of putting my paperwork together and sending letters off and stuff like that. If you know anything about what I'm talking about, you know it's paper heavy, it's document heavy. This ain't for the weak. It's not. If you're lazy, or if you just get overwhelmed easily by paperwork, you're gonna be a little stressed. I'm not gonna hold you. But what's on the other side, that reward is going to be worth it. Okay, so what exactly do I mean by you can use these consumer laws to cancel out your debt? Say you have some negative or derogatory remarks on your credit report, maybe late payments, things you haven't paid off, so it turned into a charge off. Even student loans, which blew my mind. The fact that there's laws out there that you can use to cancel out your student loans altogether, like, what are we doing? What have we been doing this whole time? What have we been doing this whole time? Because it doesn't make sense. If we have all these things lined up that we could use to wipe our slates clean, why are we still suffering as a people? Why are we still struggling as a people? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm making this video today, to spread more awareness on this and let you guys know that if you're in debt, there are options for you. You don't have to suffer in debt. You don't have to wait on a miracle check. You don't have to wait on a settlement. You can take action today for free. Okay, you just have to educate yourself. That's it. So apart from student loans, you can also use consumer laws to cancel out any outstanding collections you may have, whether that's medical bills, credit card bills, any type of debt that you have that turned into a collection or was sent off to a collection agency. You have consumer laws. We all have consumer laws that protect us from those agencies, because what's happening is a lot of these collection places, they're sending out all these harassing letters. They're calling you all day trying to get you to pay what they're claiming you owe them, when you ain't never even signed no paperwork with them to begin with. So they're sending out all these threats. They want to take legal action, or hey, you need to resolve this as soon as possible, this is urgent, but you never signed no agreement with them. So they actually don't have a right to send you any type of communication, whether it's through email or phone call, even through paper mail. Like, they don't have a right to send you any type of communication. It's illegal. So you use your consumer laws to cancel out that debt. And you can also send them an invoice, $1,000 per violation for each violation they do. So for example, you have a debt collector reaching out to you and they're sending you something in the mail. You didn't give them your address. That's a violation of a law. Because see, what it is it's really an invasion of privacy. They're sending it to your home. How do they know that people aren't opening up your mail? You don't know if I wanted them to know that I was in debt. That's just an example of how you can use consumer laws to protect your privacy and also get that stuff removed off your credit report, which, like I said, I'm going to link those videos down below, so be sure to check them out. And they give you a breakdown of each law that they violate, whether it's paper mail or an email. It doesn't matter. When they send you any type of communication, they're violating laws, and you can use that to not only get that stuff removed off your credit report, but you can also win you some money, baby, because it's $1,000 for every violation, and you can send that invoice in the mail when you send them that documentation. Having debt isn't as bad as you think it is. There's a loophole to everything. That's something that I'm finding out. Like, in this world, there's a loophole to everything, and the people who are suffering are the people who don't know. Literally, the Bible says my people suffer for a lack of knowledge, and it's true. Why is it that Black communities are often the last to find out stuff like this? We don't know stuff like this. We're not taught stuff like this. The generations above us are not taught these things. They didn't pass anything down to us. You know what I'm saying? They do the best they can. I'm not faulting them. I'm not faulting nobody's parents, nobody's grandparents, but I feel like it's according to us, like it's our responsibility to educate ourselves. The other people are doing just fine in life. They have financial wealth passed down to them generation to generation. They have all these different resources, all these different tools that they are using for their success. But yet for us, we're living paycheck to paycheck and we struggle to make ends meet. And this is why educating yourself is so important, because you may see your debt as a liability, and it can be, but it depends on your perspective, because your debt can also be an asset. If you want to turn it around, use the consumer laws to get them off your credit report and make a check while doing it, baby, that's not a liability no more. That's an asset. So like I said, it's up to you. If you want to take this information and put it into use, put it into action, you can literally change your whole life around. Because I don't know if you heard but when your credit is right, man, the world is your oyster. Okay, when your credit is right, you have so many tools, so many resources. That's that abundant lifestyle. Okay, and I'm not saying to go like fix your credit just to put yourself in more debt. That's not what I'm preaching at all. You may not want to put yourself in debt, and I'm not telling you to do that, but when your credit is right, that opens the doors for you to leverage credit and use it as a resource, to use it as a tool. You don't have to be a slave to your credit. But if you want to take a $50,000 loan and flip that into $150,000, you don't even got to count that you borrowed $50,000, because now you're up on $100,000. So if you're one of those people who don't want to live, you know, according to credit and stuff like that, I completely understand. But I personally believe, and I'm not coming after nobody who believes otherwise, but I personally believe that credit is a great tool that you can use as leverage. Because the truth is, these millionaires, these billionaires, they use credit. They've used credit for their businesses. They've used them for their personal lives. They've used them for their vehicles, for their homes, all these fancy things that we see. And it's not that we need to copy them, but it's just the fact that if they're able to obtain these things and still remain in a high status, still remain with high income, still remain with multiple streams of income, then it's like, how can you really label credit as a bad thing? Credit isn't really a bad thing. You just have to know how to use it. If you could take that credit and flip it into something else, then baby, that's not even a liability at this point. It's an asset. Anyway, let's get into the next point. I do want to comment on the collection aspect, because that's something that I've used. I've applied all of these things that I've been learning, and I marked up my debt collector letter and I saved it, because you see, you got to save your paperwork. If you receive any form of communication insinuating that you have a debt, whether that's email or phone call, like a voicemail type of thing, or even a physical letter that came through the mail, keep it. Just keep it, because you never know when you're finally going to be ready to take action and get that stuff off your report and you're gonna be mad if you don't have it. Okay, so go ahead, keep all that documentation. Even if you end up not using it, even if you end up getting it off a different way, just keep it, because if you lose it, you're not gonna have anything to back yourself. You just never know. So just go ahead and keep it. But I did want to comment on that because I myself have sent off my documentation. I sent off the markup letter, I sent off an affidavit of truth, and I sent off an invoice for every violation they did. So I'm currently waiting to hear back on that. Like I said, if you want me to make another video updating you on it, I could definitely do that, because I'm here to share my journey so I can help the next person come up. If this video is enough for you, that's great. So just let me know. But anyway, moving on to the next thing that I've learned, y'all, you can literally use consumer laws to cancel out your whole car note. When I tell you, from the deposit that you paid coming right back into your hands, from the car note itself, the value of the car that you financed coming back into your hands, you could literally use consumer laws to cancel your entire car note to where it's paid in full and you don't have to worry about paying it every month. Isn't that crazy? Like, tell me that's not crazy. Y'all, I'm shook, okay? I'm shook. But it's illegal for them to take a down payment from you on a car. So that's something I'm looking into, because I'm trying to get rid of my car note. I ain't gonna lie. I'm trying to get rid of my car note. I really want to be debt free, no fluff, like none of that. Not to brag, nothing. I just truly want to be out of debt. I don't want to have to pay stuff every month. Like, I know you always gonna have bills and all that stuff. I mean, I don't want to say always, because you know there might be a loophole to that too, but I just know my car note, that's a pretty big chunk of money to pay each month. Maybe even you watching this video, like, your car note is a pretty big chunk of your check each month, and you would prefer not to have to pay that. So like I said, take a look at that video. I'm gonna link down below. I'll label them so you know what is what, but I definitely want you guys to not walk but run. Okay, I definitely want you guys to educate yourself on these topics, because they're so important. There's so much freedom in living debt free. You don't have to go to bed every night worrying about how you're gonna pay your bills this month. There's actually a way that you can get rid of some of that stuff. So like I said, I can't comment too much on the car note section because that's something that I'm currently working on, but just know that there are several people who have already canceled out their car note using consumer laws. So that should be enough proof in the pudding for you to take action and try to do the same. Okay, and another thing that you can also do, if you have a lot of things, let's say you have so many negative things on your credit report, you don't even want to go through all those different collections one by one, having to reach out and send all these letters of validation. You don't want to even go through all that hassle. You can literally sue the credit bureaus. You can sue Experian, you can sue Equifax, and you can sue TransUnion. Obviously, them as a credit bureau, they're not going to catch every mistake that they make, so they're bound to make mistakes, and if you don't know any better, you're going to let them get away with their mistakes. But when you educate yourself, you know that, hey, this is actually legal. Hey, this is a violation of that law, so I can reach out to them and get this stuff removed. And if they don't want to remove it, I don't know if you've been through this, but when you send your validation letter to them and they send you another letter saying, oh yeah, all this stuff was verified, it's accurate and true, so we're not removing it. What you mean you're not removing it? Like, you know, if you tried repairing your credit by yourself, I know I personally have, even back in the day. Like, I've always been a do-it-yourself DIY type of girl, so I take a lot of things into my own hands and I just make it happen. And I know when I've sent those letters out and they send me that stuff back, I'll be like, yo, this crazy. Like, they will not budge for nothing. But one thing they will budge for is those consumer laws, because if you violate a law, I could take you to court, and you may think that you need a fancy lawyer to win your case, but that's really not the case, because the court, it's their job to protect you as the consumer. And I know there's a lot of things that go on. I don't want to get into politics and all that extra stuff, but at the end of the day, consumer laws are put in place to protect you as the consumer. The court has no excuse but to stand on the side of the U.S. law. And that's point blank, period. So what you would want to do in this case, let's say you have a whole lot of things on your credit report and you just want to be done with it once and for all. What you want to do is go to your state website and go under your small claims court. You're going to submit a filing case. This is a lawsuit, and you're going to submit it against the credit bureau. So you're going to need their address, their physical address, and you're also going to need to explain why exactly you are suing them. And once you submit your filing, it'll really take like a day or two. It can take up to 2 weeks, but it really usually takes a day or two before they process and approve the case. And after they approve the case, you're going to want to serve the credit bureaus. And so me personally, I haven't served them physically by myself. I went through the Marshal Service, and so if you don't know what that is, there is a Marshal Service that can serve your defendant. You are the plaintiff and the defendant is the person that you're suing. So the Marshal Service, they do a lot of different things. The Marshals is kind of like a police officer, but there are certain differences. And so what the Marshals do is they take the paperwork that you submit to them. You also have to pay them a fee, and so they serve the credit bureaus. And what happens after that, because these credit bureaus, they don't actually want to go to court with you. They serve millions of people, so their last desire is to be pulling up to court to fight a case on how they didn't answer your mail correctly and how they didn't remove this stuff within a timely manner. So they're going to reach out to you. They're going to call you, be like, hey, what's up? We saw you submitted a court case against us. What can we do to settle this out of court? That's your golden ticket, because as soon as they ring your phone and they ask you that question, you could lay everything out. When I tell you, hey, I got a couple collections on here I need you to clear for me. Okay, done. I got a couple hard inquiries I need you to clear for me. Okay, done. And I've documented 5 violations against you guys, so you owe me $5,000. It sounds easier than what it actually is. All this court stuff, it's a lot. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot. Especially if you're not a lawyer, if you don't really know your way around the law. It's a lot to have to familiarize yourself with. But I'm a testimony, I'm living proof, because I've done it, that it's really not so complex to the point where you can't do it. Like, if you don't have a background and you don't really like reading, you can still learn this stuff and apply it with no issue, because it's not that complicated. You just have to know exactly step by step what to do, which these videos I linked down below, they're going to be a great reference guide. These are the exact videos I've used to do my stuff and learned how to file and how to do all these different things. So go ahead and use them as a resource. I took the information, I did my research, I put 2 and 2 together, and I made it happen. So if I can do it, you can definitely do it too. It's time for us to educate ourselves. It's time for us to do our due diligence and educate ourselves so that we can come up on the other side of the struggle, so we don't have to keep living paycheck to paycheck, paying all these different bills that we can hardly afford. And I do want to leave you with this verse. So Romans 8 verses 31 through 33 says, "What then shall we say in response to these things? If God is for us, who can be against us? He who did not spare his own son, but gave him up for us all, how will he not also, along with him, graciously give us all things? Who will bring any charge against those whom God has chosen? It is God who justifies." So what the scripture is saying to us, guys, is that if God is for you, then literally nobody can be against you. There's no charge, no creditor that can overcome you, because you have God that's for you. So like I said, I really want you to take this information, let it marinate, because I know it was a lot. It was a lot for me too. But really let it marinate and take that next step. I encourage you, and you won't be doing it alone, because I'm also working on these things. I'm also applying myself to do these different things so I can continue progressing through life gracefully. Okay, I really do hope this video was helpful for you. If you have any questions, comment them down below. Like I said, I'm going to link those videos that I used as a guide for myself to do these different things, and if I come across any other videos that are helpful, I will update the description box and add those videos as well, so you can watch them, and hopefully that'll give you kind of like some clarity on what exactly it is that I am talking to you about, and the process of how you can apply apply this information that you're learning. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that it was valuable for you. If you're new here, like I said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm definitely here to provide more knowledge. I want you to succeed in life. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join the tribe. So I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye, y'all.
Say you love me, you got away with words when the lies you tell me something. No, no, familiar the way you're running, cause I did the same thing once and I'm seeing my reflection in your eyes.